Hey, hey. Hello. Hello. Hey, Facebook world. Welcome. Come in. Gather your feathers. Nest yourself. Come have a chat with me for a little while. Come on in. Say hello. Tell me where you're from, and let's have a little chat, shall we? On a Wednesday evening here, Toronto, Canada. Let me know where you're from. Come on in. Gather. Come on in. Amber Lee. Hello, gorgeous. Hello, Tamri. Janice. How's my girl? Love you, Janice. Come on in. Let me know where you're from, how you're doing this evening. Maybe drop a word. Drop one word and let us all know how you're feeling. Give me a word, one single word. Carla, so great to see you. Hey, Neil. Maryland, awesome. Fort Worth, Texas. I've been there a dozen times. Rode the bull in Fort Worth, Texas, down by the stockyards. Come on in, drop a word, let me know how you're feeling tonight. I have a lot to say. This evening, as usual. Come on in, drop a word, let me know how you're doing tonight. Just one word, how you feeling? How are you feeling? I am fired up. That's my word. That's 2 words, but I'm a too much woman, so I always overdo things. Hey, son, NYC, how you doing? Tell me how you're feeling tonight. Canada representing. I love it. Okay. Hi, Kathy. Great to see you guys. Okay, so I have a lot I want to talk about tonight, as usual. Yesterday on Tuesday nights, I run a masterclass, and I was so fired up about the topic that I've been thinking a lot about it, and I wanted to drop some seeds here. Pam, hey, baby. Happy birthday week, baby. Hey, Carly. Hi, Nicole. Brandy's feeling anxious. Hope that this is going to help. Feeling pretty good. Okay. Well, hopefully we can top off your night and make it a little better. So I want to talk to you about something tonight. What I love to do most, probably one of the things I love to do most. And I know there's a lot of people who are new on here. If you're watching this in the replay, type in replay so I know. There's like over 1,000 new people just in this week alone on this page. It's crazy how it's growing. So I just want to welcome you. If you don't know who I am, I'm Gina, Too Much Woman. And what I love to do is I like to scribble outside the lines of how we typically think about things. I like to stretch first myself and then you to think about things in a way that you hadn't thought about them before, because this is how we change things. And so what I want to do is I want to throw a couple of ideas at you tonight to have you thinking about what's going on globally and what's going on personally in a new way, because everything that's going on globally is a mirror of what we're personally going through and vice versa. So I want to give you a couple of thoughts. So we are talking tonight about feminine and masculine energy. And I know a lot of people talk about this and what the hell does it mean? And why do I even care? It sounds so esoteric. So I'm going to break it down for you. And what I think is so fascinating as a descriptor of what's going on globally and what's going for us. If you are experiencing the pandemic right now, which I think everybody is, what is going on? So let's start with the understanding. I think we can all agree that for thousands of years, the whole world, and particularly the Western world, has been run by a very masculine energy. So what I'm going to do is I want to give you a couple descriptors of this masculine energy and the values of it. And I want you to write below the ones that you were raised with. Okay, so I'm going to read a couple things. And if you were raised with these values, I want you to give me like a thumbs up or write down one of the words that you hear. Okay, are you ready for this? This is going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Gets interactive. So the world is run, when I say the world, particularly the Western world, but predominantly around the world, it's run by very masculine energy and masculine values. Okay, things like nose to the grindstone, work hard, work faster, work better, be more efficient. Like if you work for a company, you've heard this. Give me a thumbs up if you've heard this before. The masculine energy is very much suck it up and shut up. It's kind of like, no pain, no gain, that philosophy. If you've heard no pain, no gain, give me a thumbs up, say hello, give me some love. It's very eye on the prize. It's very goal oriented. It's like, that's the goal. That's the direction. That's what we want. Write down your goals. Make them SMART goals. If you've heard this, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you have a very specific measurable goal in mind. You want to lose weight? Write down the weight. You've all heard this, right? So give me some love. There you go. It's very profit oriented. It's all about the profit. It's like, what's our whole purpose? It's the profit. Okay, so you've heard this. It's very logical. So if for those of you like me for the longest time who are obsessed with pros and cons lists, what's rational? What's logical? Think it through. Make good decisions. Think it through and make the right decision for you. If you've heard this, give me a thumbs up. It's very focused on data. It's very focused on the science. It's very focused on what we call Newtonian science. It's like, prove it to me. Okay, this is all masculine energy. If you've heard of this or you were raised with these values, whether at home or at school or in the office, give me a thumbs up. The idea is that you go it alone. It's like the lone wolf. It's like, who's going to win? Who's going to be the best? Who's going to have the most likes? Who's going to be on top? Who's going to get the job? It's very much about the win. It's very focused on being the lone wolf, winning the prize at the end. Masculine energy is very concerned with individual gains. And it's very concerned with not feeling, because it's focused, it values logical, rational thinking. So you don't feel anything. You're not a sissy. You're not weak. You're not what the P word is, right? You think about things and you make logical decisions about things. It's, for people like me who were told, if you were told you were too sensitive, too emotional, right? That was the masculine energy saying, shh, don't cry. There's no crying in baseball, right? It's all about the masculine. So if this resonates with you, give me a thumbs up. So this is what our society values. Like, if you've ever worked out, if you've gone to a gym, if you've hired a trainer, the chances are that was what you heard. If you started a business or if you had a coach years and years ago, that's what you heard. It's like, feel the fear, do it anyway. Push through that shit. Like, push through the wall, bulldozer through it. Just find a way, plow through. And there was shame in being, weak okay, so you resonate with this. Okay. So let's talk about the opposite. Because what's going on now globally is we are seeing a shift energetically. We are seeing a shift from the masculine to the feminine energetically. It's happening around the world. What we see crumbling in politics and in the medical field and in the education system is this very masculine energy. And it's shifting to the feminine. So let me describe the feminine for you, okay? Just so that we're clear. So the feminine, conversely, okay, here's the opposite of that. The feminine prioritizes pleasure as opposed to just getting shit done. It prioritizes collaboration, doing things together, teamwork, being around other people, the energy of other people. It prioritizes joy and actually fulfillment as opposed to just getting shit done. The feminine energy is very vulnerable, right? It's open as opposed to suck it up and shut up. It's vulnerable. We see this with the work of Brené Brown becoming very popularized, right? We see this even with social media. People are telling their personal stories. People are opening up about themselves. People, in the speaker world where I come from for 25 years, back when I started, nobody was talking about their personal stories. It was like, this is what you do. 5 steps to becoming more confident. And they would walk the stage in these suits, right? But now it's all about storytelling and vulnerability and the journey that I went through, right? And so this is the shift towards the feminine. I know I sound like I'm being sarcastic, but I'm just a little bit dramatic. It's who I am. It's who I am. The feminine is about growth through nurturing, not about growth through pain. It's growth through nurturing and connection. It's about receiving and surrendering. You hear a lot of people talk, I'm going to talk about this in a second, but you hear a lot of people talk about receiving and surrendering. Like, what? I'm going to talk about it. The goal is not profit. Profit's masculine. The goal instead is connection, right? It's creating community. It's like touching and feeling and having heart-to-heart conversations. In the feminine, instead of focusing on logic and reason and data and facts, the feminine taps into intuition. It taps into an inner knowing. It taps into the senses, the sensual as opposed to the logical and rational. Okay, that's the feminine energy. It's very expressive. It seeks community, and it's plugged into, rather than being me focused, it's plugged into the greater good. It's plugged into other people. Okay, so if this resonates with you, give me some love. So if this makes sense to you, forget resonance. If it makes sense to you, show me some love. Now, what we're seeing globally is a shift away from the masculine, that old way of thinking. Now, I come from a speaker background and a training background in corporate for over 25 years, and I saw the shift. I'd be called in to work with the leaders of organizations because the company wasn't doing well, or they had high absences, or there was a lot of internal conflict, or the leaders weren't getting along with the employees, or whatever it was. And what we were working on was the feminine energy. Of course, I never said that because they never buy it. But these huge companies were bringing me in to give them skill sets around the feminine. How do we communicate effectively? How do we show care and compassion for one another and our employees? Conflict resolution, the goal wasn't profit anymore. It was understanding. It was getting the company to join arms, link arms, and sing kumbaya, literally. And so I started to see the shift like 10 years ago, and we're seeing it more and more and more. So what's so interesting is if you're experiencing the global pandemic right now, what you are finding is you are being isolated in your homes. And what that does is I want to be selective with my words. It's forcing us, but I don't want to say forcing us. It's inviting us because we wouldn't do it otherwise, to step out of the masculine energy of our busy, busy lives, of our go and get it, of our chasing our dreams, of us working hard and long hours, of us being disconnected from our family and our friends and ourselves and our passions and nature. It's literally pulling us into feminine energy. That's what feminine energy does. It's actually a magnet. And because we wouldn't listen otherwise, we're like, yeah, I know that's important to slow down and be connected and feel my feelings and be in nature and pay attention. And because we weren't listening, we're like, la, 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 la. The universe said, okay, well, how about now? And so here we are. Have you ever worked so hard on something? Maybe it was a project. Maybe it was an event you were planning. Maybe it was a holiday. And the buildup of stress got so big. And right after that, when it was over, what happened? You got sick and you collapsed and you were like in bed with the flu or something. That's the feminine energy taking over. And so what's happening to many of us right now is we are experiencing the shift personally and globally of the masculine shifting to the feminine. And because we wouldn't do it otherwise, because who the hell likes change? We value getting stuff. We value going for the goal. We value achievement. Because we wouldn't otherwise shift, we have a global pandemic that is forcing/inviting us to shift. So here all of us are forced to confront our shit. We're forced to confront our feelings. We're forced to confront our bodies. We're forced to confront our relationships. We're forced to confront ourselves. We have a lot of time at home with ourselves. We're forced to look at all the things in our lives that the feminine invites us into. The feminine's about feeling, right? We're invited to come into this space. And so now here's the thing. This is probably the most important thing I'm going to say, because this really makes me crazy when I hear people talk about masculine and feminine. So misunderstood. We think the masculine is strong and forceful, and the feminine is like soft, sweet surrender and a little bit weak right? In its vulnerability. But nothing could be further from the truth. Because here's what happens with feminine energy. When the masculine, now we need both. I'm not trying to demonize the masculine. There's a time to get shit done. Otherwise, we would get nothing done. There's a time and a place for the masculine and the feminine, but it's very out of balance. So because the masculine is so out of balance, and we need to swing the pendulum to invite more of the feminine energy into our lives, into the world, into our companies, into our school systems, into our relationships, what happens is the feminine, which we misunderstand as being weak, actually is only focused on the truth. Its primary goal is what is true, what is absolutely true. And in order for things to be truthful, sometimes what happens is it has to completely dismantle, get rid of, obliterate things as they are. Think of it this way. For a caterpillar to become a butterfly, it doesn't just go in its cocoon and draw on some beautiful wings and emerge a butterfly. No, what it does is it disintegrates into a literal pile of crap. It literally has to disintegrate into itself. That's the power of feminine energy. It is so committed to the best, highest, truest version of you that when you decide, I want to live my best life, when you come to a place in your life, and sometimes it's midlife, sometimes there's a time, maybe it's the 30s or your 40s or your 50s, or sometimes you just get hit and you just say, I've had enough of the masculine, of fighting things, of things being difficult, of things being hard, of having to strive. When you finally surrender and decide you want to live your highest, best life, what happens is things start to disintegrate. And we think, oh my God, something's wrong. Like relationships are falling apart. I lost my job. People I feel alone. My health is deteriorating. We think all of these things mean that something is wrong. But actually, stay with me for a minute, because a lot of you are in this space because you messaged me. When we finally commit to the feminine energy, which is the surrender, which is surrendering to truth, which is being vulnerable, which is feeling our feelings, which is looking at our life, our relationship, our bodies, our passions, our purpose, our jobs, our children, our politics, everything, the way that we're living. When we finally decide in this pandemic that we're going to sit and look at the stuff and commit to that, what you will notice is things will start to fall apart. People will start to fall apart or away. Relationships will disintegrate. You will feel yourself like you are imploding. That's not a bad sign. I want you to hear me now. What's going on globally, it feels like chaos. It feels horrendous. It feels wrong on every level when it's actually right. See, I coughed on that. That means it's the truth. Because for things to shift, things have to fall apart that are no longer serving your highest, best interest. So what you see going on globally is a mirror of what's going on individually and vice versa. It's all connected. And this is such an important message for me to share, because those of you who are home, who you are experiencing a really hard time with this pandemic, I understand it. I'm experiencing all of the same things. What you're confronting is the feminine energy that's been suppressed within you, within our families, within our society and our culture for thousands of years. That's what we're experiencing, because the feminine brings to light the truth. It's our feelings, our true self, our emotions. And so you're being confronted with that. It's hard to escape it. There's only so much Netflix you can watch. I mean, so if you are finding yourself going out more in nature because you have more time, you're more in your feminine. If you find yourself trying hobbies that you've forgotten about, painting or writing or maybe dancing or meditating, you're moving into the feminine energy. So all of this is bringing you closer to yourself. And when you do that, things will start to implode. when my Too Much Woman video went viral, and my visibility started to soar. And that was literally me throwing in the towel. I was at a very low time in my life right before it happened. Initially, what happened, although it looked great, because I was on stages, I was touring the world, everything looked great. Personally, there was a lot imploding in my life, in my personal relationships, and a lot of things were shifting underneath the surface. And initially, that can feel very scary. Initially, you can feel like, oh my gosh, let me backpedal and go back to the way things were. I want you to hold on. I want you to hold on. Steady yourself. Put your hand on your heart and steady yourself. And trust, just sink into yourself. Because sometimes when things are shifting and they're seemingly going wrong, what's actually happening is there's the transformation of caterpillar to butterfly. There is the shift energetically going on, and it's going to be uncomfortable because it's unfamiliar. It's going to be uncomfortable because it requires change. It's going to be uncomfortable because we're like, I want things to go back to the way they were before the pandemic. I get it. And they won't. So let's just breathe in the fact that things are shifting. And I want you to get excited about the possibility of things shifting. And sometimes it's helpful to look at a time in your life when things seemed like they were imploding. Maybe you lost a job. Maybe you were laid off. Maybe someone betrayed you and left you or hurt you. Maybe you got an illness or a diagnosis and it felt like your world was imploding. I want you to think of a time in your life when that happened and how now you can look back and understand the shift that was taking place. Literally, your life was rearranging itself. Yes? And you came out the other side different, more expansive, more self-aware. That's what's going on right now. And we're in the third week of January, which is depressing as, I don't know if I can drop F-bombs on social media, on Facebook. We all have pandemic fatigue. We're tired. We've had enough. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, it's cold. It's dark. It's crappy right now. So all the things you're feeling are normal and necessary because no winter lasts forever. The spring will come. And with it will come transformation. And the degree of transformation, it doesn't happen magically. It doesn't happen just haphazardly. It happens because you have decided to remain present with that feminine energy. Don't escape it by getting distracted with, I'm not saying don't watch Netflix or don't, you can do all those things, but make sure that you are putting intention into being present in the feminine energy. So before I go, let me give you just a couple of thoughts, a couple of tips. Here are some ways to stay present with the feminine. You ready? Grab a pen if you don't have one. Very simply, get out in nature. If you get out in nature and you're present, meaning you're not like on your phone in nature, but you're just literally outside, breathing the air, touch a tree, touch the ground, you are in your feminine energy. That is one simple way, easy. Number 2, be with your feelings. Set your timer, literally take your phone, everybody's got a phone these days, and put 2 sporadic times, 1 in the morning and 1 at night. Let your alarm go off. When the alarm goes off, all you're going to do is you're going to stop whatever you're doing. Unless you're driving, stop whatever you're doing just for 3 seconds. Pause and ask yourself, hand on heart, no, seriously, what am I feeling? Just give it a name. What am I feeling right now? I'm hungry. I'm tired. I'm anxious. I'm relaxed. I got to pee. It doesn't matter what it is. Dropping into your feelings is dropping into the feminine. Everybody can do this. It's very simple. It's not like brain science here. Twice a day, stop yourself. Maybe it's when you brush your teeth in the morning and when you brush your teeth at night. Doesn't matter when, just stop and say, what am I feeling? Connect to your feeling. Idea number 3, move your body. As soon as you move your body, like literally with intention, right? Running, yoga, dancing, stretching, hula hooping, Again, going for a walk, any way that you're moving your body and you're focused on what you're doing, that's tapping into the feminine energy. These are all ways that you can help yourself through this transition. Are you following me? Asa, you're the best. I love that you always write these down. You're so good. I need to carry you around in my pocket when I go on tour so that you can always be writing notes for everybody. Asa's amazing. Everybody give some love to Asa Williams. He's always writing down the ideas. There are so many. I know this has been a really long live. Do you want some more? I want to ask me some questions before I keep going. I just have not stopped. Who's got a question? Thank you, Kim. I'm needing this. Love how you're expressing it. Nice dress. Thanks, Stephanie. Yes, that's been my life for the last 3 years. Yes, it has. Nice brain. Thanks. Yes, feminine energy has been pushed aside, says Brenda. Yeah, thousands of years. I mean, yes, our language has changed so much too. What else are you saying to me? Hi, Janine and Jesse. How are my girls? Okay, what questions do you have so far before I go on? Is this making sense to you? Is this sitting well with you? Okay. Other ways to be in your feminine, like literally anything you can do to connect with. So connect with other people. That could be in my groups. That could be what we're doing now. Call people. I know we can't see people. I know that sucks. But any kind of connection, start a book club with one person, 2 people. Grab a book. Everybody reads it. Talk about it. That's connection. Journal. Anytime you're in touch with how you're feeling, that's feminine energy. Meditate, visualize. How about I call it this? Daydream, fantasize. Let's not make it meditate sounds a little scary to people. Just daydream, fantasize. I don't care what the fantasies are. They could be sexual. They can be ridiculous. Think about aliens. It doesn't matter. Fantasy is the opposite of rational, logical thinking. Anything that gets you excited, fantasize every single day for 5 minutes about the vacation you want to take, about the love you want to make, about the pictures that you want to draw. Anything artsy, anything imaginative, anything creative is going to get you into your feminine energy. Awesome. Kim's been in a book club every day. Perfect. Hi, Dean. Dean says it makes total sense. Okay, so I can go on and on. I always try to keep these short because I know the replay is forever. But here's what I want you to take away. What you're experiencing right now, is it uncomfortable? Good. Not good because I want you to suffer, but good because it's normal, good because it's purposeful, good because there's a global shift away from a very masculine model of things. It's disintegrating. It's a good thing that this is happening. We're bringing more compassion, more connection, more understanding, more intuition, more concern for the greater good into our global awareness. But it starts individually. So all the things that you're going through right now is helping that shift if you are doing it consciously, which you are because you're here and you're thinking about it. And I know, coloring books, a great idea. I know that you're going to take one of these ideas and I know you're going to try them for a week, just a week. Try any one of these ideas and try them for a week, literally for a week. And notice the shift that you feel. You will feel better because here's the thing. The masculine will get your to-do list done. But remember, it's relentless. It's an insatiable tapeworm. It never, ever, ever, ever ends. It never ends. It never ends. You won't feel satisfied. You won't be able to tap into your life. You won't feel a sense of, that thing that we're trying to achieve by, making to-do lists and checking them off and achieving the goal. And it doesn't last. Think of a goal that you set and then you achieved it. What happens? How long does that last? You're like, look at me. And in 2 seconds, it's gone. And you're like, okay, now what's next? Whether it's with your weight, whether it's with getting a degree, it doesn't last. There's a reason it doesn't last, right? Because the masculine can only take you so far. So there's a purpose for it. It gets stuff done, but it doesn't fulfill you. You will not be fulfilled. You will not enjoy your life if you live predominantly in the masculine. And I know a lot of us can't relax. We can't receive. We have a hard time because we want to give. We want to do. But the feminine is about being. The feminine is about being. Even if every day you literally want to count to 30, just breathing with your hand on your heart, that's enough. Get out of bed, 30 breaths with your hand on your heart. Literally your hand on your heart. You know that creates a chemical cocktail, dopamine, all those good feelings, just hand on heart. Just do that every day. Just do that every day. Literally do that for yourself every day. This is how we will get through this together. And we are in the crux of it. I know not everybody, a lot of us are really having a hard time right now, this particular time of year, this particular time in the pandemic. We're fatigued. We feel disconnected. I want you to know that it's okay. I want you to know that we will get through this. And I want you to know that by tapping into the feminine energy, all of these ideas that I've given you, Ace has written them down, this is going to help you. This is going to help move you through. That's it. I love you. If you don't have any questions, that's it. Now, if you want more of this, this is what I do in my masterclasses. My masterclasses are on Mondays. You're free to join. I run them every Monday. It's a monthly membership. You get me 4 times. Actually, you get me 8 times a week. I do it twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays. Come and join. Janine's in my group. Hi, Janine. Dean's in one of my groups. Yeah, Mara, it doesn't ever end. It doesn't ever end. You know, I define myself as a type A. I like to do things. We all want to do things, but we're taught that our value comes from doing. Like, what have you done? Who are you? Oh, I'm a mother. Oh, I'm a wife. Oh, I'm a business person. Oh, I have this degree. Like, we connect our value to the masculine energy, which is doing. No one ever applauds us for being out in nature and skipping in nature or dancing. Or no one's saying, yes, I saw you just laying there dancing around. No one applauds us for that. No one applauds us for that. Jessie, you're awesome. Big love to you, Jessie. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Janine. I love you too. I'm your mirror, sister. Thank you for sharing in the group. I appreciate you. All right. No comments and questions. I'm going to go because, that's it. Unless you just want to hang. I don't know. It's up to you. Comments, questions, thoughts, strong oppositions. I'll take those too. This is my lemon water. I cut lemons every morning. This is after my coffee. Cut lemons every morning, and then I just keep refilling this glass. So by the end of the day, it looks like urine. Sorry, it's true. But it's just lemon. Don't freak out. It's just lemon. I love you too. I love you too. Yeah, I got to remember to save this. I'll save this and post it. Thank you for being here. Hi from New Zealand. You guys are doing great over there in New Zealand, aren't you? Morgan, doing fantastic over there. We have a lot to learn from you. Lee Law, what an awesome name. Am I saying that right? Oh my God, what about the feminine in relationships? I have to do a whole master class on that. That's like the Marie, that is my favorite topic in the whole wide world is feminine in relationships. I don't even know if I could start now. It is my favorite topic in the whole wide world. Should we talk about it now, or maybe I should make a date and we'll do a Facebook Live on it. What I will say is this. I'll say one thing about feminine relationships. I actually just did a TikTok on this. Did I share it here? I don't even know. But here's what I'll say about feminine relationships. Because I work on Thursdays, my masterclass on Thursday is all about dating and relationships and love. That's all we talk about Thursdays. If you want to join my masterclass, that's what we talk about Thursdays. And here's the thing. A lot of women say, guys are turned off by a powerful woman. All guys are this, all guys are that. Here's what I found. Women, including myself, are very much in our masculine energy, right? So we are independent, powerful, fierce. We make our own money. We do our own thing. We don't need a man, right? And look, I'm the too much woman. I champion powerful women, but we've misunderstood what it means to be a powerful woman. Because a powerful woman can be in her feminine energy, that's where she attracts the masculine energy. So what happens is men in their masculine energy who want to chase and go for, right? Think of all the masculine qualities. They want to chase, go for, get the target, have a goal. If they meet a woman who is in her masculine and she's like, I don't need a man. I'm my own. I'm powerful. They clash. It's not attractive. It's not a turn on. So when women say to me, men are turned off by a powerful woman, what you're actually saying is men are turned off by women in their masculine energy because they're masculine, the energies, they don't fit because they're like puzzle pieces. There's no need for them. A woman in her masculine energy says, I don't need you. I'm fine on my own. So the man's like, detour. Okay. So you can be powerful in your feminine energy by being receptive, by letting him come to you, by drawing him. The feminine energy magnetizes. Oh my God, I could talk forever about this. Yeah, Janine even shaved her legs because we talked about this in masterclass last week. Janine, I love you. Anyways, it's such a good question. You know, I promise to come on and do a whole Facebook Live this week on that because that's a whole masterclass in and of itself. It's a whole masterclass in and of itself. But thank you for raising it, Marie. I'm definitely gonna do a whole masterclass on this because this was profound for me. Because here's the thing. I'll say one more thing. See, I can't shut up. Here's the thing. If a woman, and I was raised by a single mother for most of my life, right? So what I saw modeled for me was a powerful woman doesn't need a man. She fixes her own thing. She makes her own money. She's tough and she's strong and she figures stuff out on her own. This is what I understood to be a powerful woman. So I emulated that. And what that masculine energy attracts for me are really feminine men. And it doesn't mean feminine, it means feminine energy. It means like they're not emotionally available. They're not strong and can't hold space, right? And I was like, this is such a turnoff. Like, this is so, like, wake up. Like, I want to meet a mountain. I want a mountain, someone who knows themselves and is a leader in themselves, of themselves. And so you will attract the opposite, right? Jesse, you follow me on TikTok? I'm glad you do. I have a lot of very different stuff on there, but I'm glad you do because your mom is wise enough and intelligent enough to broaden and discuss it with you. Broaden your horizon and discuss it with you. I need to do that more, says Megan. Drop my feminine energy. I stand too much in the masculine as a single parent. Yeah. Yes, Megan, I'm going to do a whole live on this. This is such a crucial shift. It does not mean be like a little princess sitting on a pink cushion and like being feathered. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I meant fanned with a feather. There's nothing wrong with that. It means being willing to receive, allowing them to do things for you, letting them come to you, letting them win you, like effort. Like, think of the masculine energy. They have to like effort. They've got to push through. They have to have a target. They have to have a goal. And they need someone, rather than say, oh no, I'm good. No. Take it. Receive it. We don't know how to receive. Most women don't know how to receive. And so it's really hard because guys are like, I don't know what to do with that. Is that exactly what you meant? Yeah. Greetings from New Caledonia. I don't even know what that is, but greetings. I'm so glad. I promise to say more on this because it's a passion of mine. Any other questions? Oh, I see some new comments. Replay, please. I came in late and I missed all the first part. Kit, I promise I'm gonna repost it right after this. And actually, I'll save it and I'll put it on YouTube because what I find is in Facebook, it gets kind of lost in the mist. So if you're not following me on YouTube, go to YouTube. I think it's Gina Too Much Woman. It's Gina Too Much Woman. Find me on YouTube. I will post it on there for sure if it gets lost in all the stuff here. Any other good questions? Yes, learn how to receive. That's me. So Laura, I teach a whole masterclass on the art of receiving. By the way, if you look, I teach all this and I get frustrated because I know you want to know it. I know you want to know, but my classes are 75 minutes. It's not something I can come on and teach. Like there's way too much content. So I do sell the masterclass as one-off, or you can join my membership. It's literally $25 for the entire month, and you get 8 of my lectures, 8, twice a week. So what you do is once you join, you get all the whole library. Go through the art of asking, the art of receiving, anyway. Are you saying that in relationships, women are drawn to men who are in their feminine? I'm saying, Dean, that in relationships, a woman who is very much in her masculine, she's fierce, bold, independent, doesn't need anybody. She is going to find herself in relationship with men who are very feminine, very much in their feminine energy. And while that may work initially for a while, it doesn't work long term, because naturally the woman wants to be receptive in her feminine, and the man naturally wants to be in his masculine. This is just biology. And so it doesn't work long term. There are issues in relationships long term. Awesome. Wonderful. Amberly, I find it very hard to fully embrace my feminine energy because I attract more feminine partners. So what would you suggest on helping a partner step into their masculine energy? So specifically to attract a partner, whether that's friendships, romantic relationships, or your current partner to be more in their masculine, it requires you to be more in your feminine. It's as simple as that. It requires you to lean back so that they lean in. That's really the antidote. And that's really hard for those of us who have very strong personalities. If we've been driven by the masculine our whole lives, it's very hard to flip that switch. So you can't change him or them. What you do is you consistently pull yourself back into the feminine, into receiving. Like I said, I'll do a whole nother class live on this because there's so much, but it's a good question, Amberly. It's a good question. But the only way to do it is literally the opposites attract. So if you want to attract more of that masculine, available mountain energy, it requires you to be more in your feminine. That's why you're seeing me doing belly dancing. That's why you're seeing a lot of, notice what I'm trying to do is represent a balance of masculine and feminine. So notice that my energy is very strong and powerful, but also very feminine. And what we're trying to do is we're not trying to swing the pendulum to, all the way over and just be I'm trying to model a healthy balance of both. We require both. And that's my goal. I'm not perfect at it. I struggle all the time too because I'm a go, go, go. But I'm getting so good. That makes sense? Good. You're welcome, Laura. Thanks, Kim. Thank you, Kim. I see you doing that too, Kim. I see you doing that too. Showing up, dancing, moving your body. I see you doing it. I see you. Great balance. All right. I'm going to go because this is really long and I'm worried no one's going to watch the replay because it's like an hour. How long have we been talking? But I love you. Thanks for being here. I try to come on live on Wednesday nights. But I flow because I'm in my feminine. I flow and I feel into it. And if it feels really good, then I do it. And sometimes on Wednesday night, that day doesn't feel good. So I don't, but I try. I will try to come back on Wednesday. Thanks for being here. I love you. If you're watching the replay, say replay. If you have questions, drop your questions. And if you're interested in the masterclass, Thursdays are for men and women. Mondays are only for the women. So if you just want Thursdays, by the way, which is literally, it's Thursday nights, 90 minutes. It's a community class. I teach and I coach. I do it in partnership with a guy. His name is Lion. We talk about love, dating, and relationships. That's $15 a month. If you want the whole shebang with me on Mondays and Thursdays, it's $25 a month. If you're interested or you have questions, ask me. But I come on here. what we did tonight, I just listen to this, just watch this, pick something that you can do and implement it in your life. Just try it for a week, see how you feel. Yay, first time, Harley. Welcome. And it's just at the end. Did you just join? Because I'm just wrapping up. Janine, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thanks for being here. I'll post the replay if you're just jumping on. And have a beautiful night. Have a beautiful night. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for being here with me. Good night.